Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important method related to routing, where we will learn about Router.Navigate. So prior to this session, we talked about the basic routing, where we use RouterLink to move from one page to another page, right? We saw the process for navigation of one page to one page, right? But in this session we are not going to use the router link. Instead of that, we will be using the router.navigate method. Okay, so by the end of this session you will be able to understand what is router.navigate method, why do we use it, what are the benefits of it, and all other basic stuffs related to router.navigate method. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use router.navigate method. But prior to that, you should know about the basic stuff. And for your ease, like, you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available for all of you in the description box. From there you can take a reference. It will provide you all sessions, not only for Angular but for other technologies also, in both Hindi and English language, in a structured manner. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Here you can see we have one file that shows Angular, that shows app.component.html file, where we have noted down one heading that shows Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Post that, we will put another heading, and here I will put the title of today's session, that is Router.Navigate method in Angular. Okay, so this is our second heading, Router.Navigate method in Angular. Now post that, what we are going to do, we are going to add one horizontal row which will separate out this basic headings with our actual demo content. Okay, now to demonstrate this thing, we need some components. So here you can see I have already created the component in our last sessions we created, right? So here you can see we have about component, where we have 4 files, and I just change one thing only, rest is the default. I just make it as about page. Instead of about works, I make it as about page. In case if you don't know how to create component, so you just need to run one command, that is ng for Angular, g generate c component, and then the name of the component is about. So once you press enter here, it will automatically create this folder with all these 4 files. I have already created it, that's why I'm not creating it again. And you can see I just change it to instead of, like, by default it comes as about works, but now I make it as about page. Okay, similarly I created the second component that shows contact page, and the third one that calls that shows service page. Okay, so we have 3 pages, 3 component. Don't get confused, it is not service actually. Angular service is different thing. This is just a name services for our component. Okay, so component is ready. Now it's time to configure it. So to configure it, you can go to app.route.ts file. Here you can see we have one array. So in this array I will one by one define my path. So firstly I will use curly braces here, then I will write path colon, and in path we will put like this, about, then comma, and then the name of the component. So component would be about component. Okay, then we will put comma over here, then we will write path again for the second route, and second route is contact, then comma component. Here we will write contact component, then comma, again curly braces, path colon, this time we will put services, comma component colon services component. Perfect. So this is what we configured here. Okay, these all 3 component. Now to use this component, we need few things in our app.component.ts file. So let's go there. Here firstly we can import router outlet. earlier we also used to import router link, right? But in this example we don't need router link. So you can say that today we are going to discuss a way where we can navigate from one page to another without using router link. Okay, so router outlet is ready. That means we have imported it. Now post that, what we are going to do, we are going to, like, firstly we will go to app.component.html. here I will write app page, okay, as a heading. h2, here I will write app page. Okay, fine. From app page, when user, app page means there is no route, right? By default it will be on that only. So if means it by default there is no route. Okay, so we set it as, in fact we covered this thing like how to set the default route, but here we are not configuring anything. So this is just a app page where we will provide one button, and this button will help us to call the method. So I will write here click method, and here we will mention go to, you can simply write go to about. Okay, so this is a method name and parenthesis. Similarly you can write here like this, go to about. Okay, now this method is not defined yet, that's why it is showing it is not there. So to define it, we will go to app.component.ts file. Here we will write go to about, opening closing parenthesis and curly braces. Now inside this we will set like here we need to do few things, like firstly we will make use of router here. Okay, so for that you need to write like this, constructor private. Here I will write router, and like this router, and press enter. So once you press enter, it will automatically add this thing here. Okay, then you can put curly braces like this, and inside this method we will write our logic. So logic would be very simple. You just need to write here this dot router dot navigate, then opening closing parenthesis. Inside this we will pass the route name, like where we want to move, and it's an array, that's why we are going to specify like this, about. Perfect, and then a colon. Alright, so this thing is ready. Now you can save it, and it's time to verify whether it is working perfectly or we need any modification. So for that we will write here ng serve -- open enter, wait for a few seconds, and then it will show you the browser. Here you can see we are on the app page. These are the basic headings that we put, that shows Angular 19 course by Tech Sharmit and router.navigate method in Angular. Post that we have this heading that shows Angular page, but as of now we are not on any of the route. But the moment when you click on this button, it will take you to the about route. So click on it, you can see now we are in the about route. Okay, and why we are not able to see about route heading here? Because we have not added the router outlet there. So let's go there, app.html, and here you need to add router outlet. So always make sure to include it. Okay, now you can see it shows about page. So once I click here, it shows about page. Okay, so this is how you will utilize the router.navigate method whenever there is a requirement to move from one page to another, and especially in those situations where you don't want to use the router link. Because in previous session we talked about the router link way, right, where we use the router link method and it helped us to move from one page to another. But here we are not using router link. Instead of that we are using the method that is Angular router.navigate method. Okay, so I hope this entire session is clear to all of you, and you know, like now you have the understanding like how to use the router.navigate method. In case if you have any questions, queries or suggestion related to this topic, or maybe any feedback for the session or for the playlist, you can simply reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to help you out there if there's any issue, and I would be more than happy to implement the feedback suggestions also. Okay, So till now, till then, you can simply practice these sessions, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.